Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome to Retro Rebound, the show where I take a look at an episode or topic from the 90s or early 2000s. And we are taking a look at a Fresh Prince. Uh, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, which was like, when you think of 90s, like, just the clothes. You look at the clothes that they wear in this, and you think 90s. The story of this is Will Smith plays Will Smith. Stretch, I know. Uh, a teenager from Philadelphia who gets in a bit of trouble and gets sent to his Uncle Phil's and Aunt Vivian's to live with their family to be raised up in a better neighborhood, I guess. It's an interesting premise, but I never got especially with this episode we're talking about, that Will's mom never got any more flack on her. I guess maybe she knew she couldn't do as well in that kind of neighborhood, you know. But yeah, this is after the casting change of Aunt Viv. Janet Hubert left after season 3, and from season 4 through 6, Daphne Maxwell Reid took over. She had a lighter skin tone. She is okay, but I still think that, especially, there's a couple things in this episode that I think would have worked better in it if they had certain avenues. And one is Janet Hubert's version of Aunt Viv. I feel like her first appearance, like her first, not for her first, encounter with Lou in this, and her confrontation towards the end of the episode. I think it would have worked had it been the Aunt Viv we've known for the last 3 years. Not that Daphne Maxwell Reid doesn't do a good job. She does. It just, I don't know. And another thing that was missing was Will's mother. I felt like Will's mother should have shown up at some point to confront him. Like, Will gets to confront his father, sort of. But, I don't know. We are talking about, of course, season 4, episode 24. Papa's Got a Brand New Excuse. This episode does hit close to home with me, although for not the same reasons. I did not grow up with my father. I've had 2 stepfathers. One who was a prick and relentlessly came down on me. Sometimes I didn't deserve it. Sometimes I did, but his whole thing was about respect. I can't respect a man that I hate. And he treated me like shit. And that's how far I'll go with it. I could say some things, but just say them on camera, especially. Then my mom remarried, and this guy is much better. He's much better. But there will never be a person that I will call dad. I joke with my friend Brandon, I call him daddy, but that's a jokey joke, And I have joked with my stepdad in the past, call him pops. But I'm not comfortable with calling anyone dad who's not my dad. And maybe not for the same reasons as Will's father in this, because there was a whole combination of things of why he wasn't around. There was stuff going on. We moved. They moved. There was a blood test that fucked everything up, because the 2 people that my mom thought could be my father, but the blood test came back both negative, and so then that led to my dad's entire family just pushing me away after that. And I can't hate my mom for doing that, because honestly, I did it when my son was born. I wanted to know, but to make sure my ex had a history. But anyway, yeah, I can relate to this a lot, not growing up with a dad. My dad has never come back to talk to me. Part of that is probably because of the blood test. He probably doesn't even believe he's still my father. But if you're out there, doesn't matter what you believe. It's what I believe. You're my dad. Okay? And I became a father myself. I told myself I wasn't going to be like him. I wasn't going to abandon my son. And I haven't. You know, almost 12 years now. I haven't abandoned him. I'm there for him. He needs me. Yeah, this, I believe, is when Will and Carlton are in college. I believe they're working at this, like a college cafe type thing. And Will is like working, and this is when we see Ben Vereen for the first time. He's playing Lou Smith, Will's father, and he doesn't know who this is. They think he's a cop. I do like this joke where he's like, Will, you gotta come clean. He's like, all right, man. Wait, what are you talking about? I ain't doing nothing. I like that. And then it baffles me where he's just like, no, I'm fine, son. And just he says son, and I'm actually, he's like, that's my dad. And I'm like, just because he calls you son? You see that in a lot of things where it's like, oh, it's okay, son. Son? Are you my dad? And it's like, it's usually played off for laughs. Like, you've seen the Good Burger sketch they did on Jimmy Fallon's show, right? I think Joe Jimmy Fallon or whatever it was. Son? Dad! Wait, I mean, brother? No, I'm not your daddy. And, yeah, play off for laughs like that. Like, but this is serious. Like, he gets it because he calls him son. And it's kind of, maybe he does sort of remember. He would have had to been like 5. He's been 14 years old. I'm assuming Will was like 19. He was college age. So he had to have been at least like 5 years old, right? I mean, he left. So he's coming through. He's a trucker now. He's coming through. He's got a job. And he wants to hang out with Will. Will doesn't know at first, but he's like, oh, yeah, okay. And he invites him over to dinner at the house. And he even says, I don't think your Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv would like that very much. And also fine. It's fine. I do like, though, when he walks in, when they walk in, and Aunt Viv is just like, hi, Will. Hi, Lou. Lou! And he's like, well, why didn't you tell me? She's like, I told Jeffrey to tell you. He goes, oh, I didn't say anything because I thought it would be more fun. And it is. I love Jeffrey. I love G, man. He's probably one of the best like comedy characters in a sitcom. He's great in this. Like, there's a joke later where Will's on the phone talking to his mom. And like I said, she should have shown up at some point in the episode, but they had a worker in there somewhere talking to his mom. Or no, not Will. It's Vivian's talking to Vi. And he's like, well, he's still a Stone Cold Fox. And he goes, well, what would he say? He's bloated and bald. And Uncle Phil walks in. And Jeffrey, who helped Mr. Meat, looks at him and goes, were your ears burning, sir? I break my composure there. It made me laugh. I will say some of the Carlton stuff made me a little bit awkward. Like when he's like, Uncle Lou, it's me, Carlton. And I'm just like, okay. He's a little awkward. I know Carlton's supposed to be an awkward type character. But his character is he's black, but he acts white. Like there's even a joke later when they think Will's going to leave. He takes like half of the hats off the wall and replaces his African American poster with Michael Bolton. So he doesn't want to measure his size. I don't know. But yeah, of course, Uncle Phil comes home. He's not happy to see Lou. And then he knows, he's taking care. You can also see it from Phil's side of things that this guy has come back and he could be a threat, as well as like if he really means this, the last 4 years of him helping Will is just going to go away. And like what he's done for over the last 4 years, that's over. This whole dynamic that he has is over. It's going to change. And also, if he does take Will with him, is it going to be a better life? because he left Philly because it wasn't the ideal life. It was, it was the hood. It was gangsters and stuff, and gangs, I should say, gangs and stuff. And you know, would it be better for him to go off with him, or would it be better for him to stay? Which obviously it would be better for him to stay, But yeah. But they go out to like a carnival that's randomly just happening, I guess, and they bond. And so when they go back, Will says that he's actually going to go on a road with his dad for the rest of the summer. And Phil does not like that at all. He's like, no, you're not. And he goes, you can tell me what to do. You're not my father. And I cannot convey it as well as Will Smith does. Will Smith was a great actor. Even here, this is what, 1994? 93, 94. This is 94. 1994. This is before he even did a movie. Because, like, 1996, Independence Day, that's 2 years away yet. Man in Black, 3 years away. So, I don't think I don't remember what his first movie was. Was it Independence Day? I don't know. But, I think in that movie, yeah. This shows you how good of an actor he was. This performance. Man, you're not my father. This causes Joe to kind of go into a bit of a depression. So much so, his kids kind of get away with stuff. Like, Hillary comes in, she's like, Daddy, I kind of wrecked the credit card. He goes, oh, it's okay. Pick one. And he's like, I'll take the shiny gold one. And then, like, Ashley gets to go to a party where it goes after midnight, and Carlton tries to get his trust funds after his... Well, you're a great dad. Thank you, son. Can I get access to my trust fund? No. I hate you. Yeah, we'll join the club. Yeah, but Aunt Viv reassures him that he's done everything he can for Will, and that maybe he's a little more selfish about this. Maybe it's not about what he thinks it's about. And so he goes to talk to Will, and they apologized, and was like, yeah, we both said everything. He goes, no, I meant everything I said, but, if you want to go out with your father, that's fine. Do what you want to do. And then, wouldn't you know it, this story comes to a heart-wrenching end. So Lou shows up, but he has some news. He's got offered a job, and he's going to go from there to Maine, California to Maine, but he's taking an extra driver with him because it's a big load. So he won't be able to take Will with him. And he wants them to tell Will, because he hasn't had the heart to do it himself or something, and yeah, this is where everything just hits the fan. Like, by the way, they have the new baby with them, and so he's like, you can't do this to Will, you can't do it, and he's like, Vivian, will you take Nikki upstairs, please? He goes, you're not gonna hit him, are you? And I love this turn because I want to see it, and I'm just like, oh damn. Again, though, if this was Janet Hubert, the one that we were used to, I think it would hit more, but still, that was great. He goes, no, I'm not going to hit him. And they have an argument, and then Will comes in, and so he's like, you just, okay, well, I'll just call him from the rope. But as he goes to leave, Will comes in, and he's like, so he tells him. And, this is where it comes full circle, and Will realizes what's happening, and he's like, it was good to see you, son. He goes, yeah, it was, Lou. And the realization on Lou's face, okay, I fucked up. All right. He walks off, and then you get the moment everyone remembers from this episode, where Will tries to play it off. It's cool, it's fine, because I didn't do this, and right. Well, it's okay to be angry. No. I just wish I didn't spend my money on this gift, which is a weird statuette of a father holding a child, which I know is supposed to mean something, but I felt like even if he did stay and he gave this to him, like that would really freak him out more. I don't know, but because he does say earlier that he left because he was scared. I mean, when you're a father, you're scared. When I found out I was going to be a dad, And the day I found out he was born, I fell over. I was sitting in the living room here. We were sitting on the floor playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And my mom called me. She goes, "Would you like to go see your son?" And I just went, "Yeah, okay. We'll be there in a few minutes." Okay. And then I hung up the phone and I fell over. They're like, what's going on? I'm like, "You guys need to leave. I'm going to go see my son." It hits you, right? So I understand that part. But I would never leave. I never would have left. You know, being scared is one thing, but being man enough to take the responsibility, that's a whole other thing. And he wasn't man enough. And, this episode proves that Uncle Phil is one of the best TV dads out there. I got to do I probably should have put this out on Sunday for Father's Day. You know what? Happy Father's Day, because this is going out on Sunday. I know it's a low blow, it's a low hanging fruit, but yeah. So this is going to be a little bit late. I'm putting this out on Father's Day, as I'm saying towards the end of the review. But yeah, you get the moment. Everyone knows. How come he don't want me, man? And then he just collapses into Phil's arm. And I'm saying this, I'm watching this, I'm going, this would be better if Bill wasn't wearing his stupid backwards ass hat. And it's almost like they knew that, but because when he hugs Will, the hat gets all messed up. So you see James Avery grab the hat and throw it off. Like, forget that. Like, someone said, just cut it off. And they kept it in because this genuine moment, I'm sure it was done. They could only do it in one take. I doubt they did it several other times. This could only be done in one take. The tears, the emotion. I doubt they did it more than once. And the episode ends. The camera pans down to the little gift. Episode ends, and you get the end credits thing. We just focused on that. So, yeah, great episode. And a great Father's Day review. Retroactively, because I didn't intend it to go up for Father's Day, but I'll explain it in other videos before this, because I'm still going to do more Retro Rewind stuff. Yeah, this was great on a rewatch. I don't think I've watched this as much as I've watched my Screw Up or the one that When No One's Ready, but maybe that's because this one out of all three of those has the most emotion to it. Like, my Screw Up is sad, and the Friends one is more funny. But my Screw Up is sad, but it has more rewatch value because you go back and you rewatch it and you see the point of view now. You know that Ben is gone, is dead, and you see this from another perspective. And the more you watch, the more you see little things here and there. This is just so much raw emotion done so well that maybe it's the rewatch value is not as much as the other two, but it's still very well done. And I kind of tipped my hat a little bit when I was like, oh, this could be the best episode. Watching this back, it is, to me, the best episode of this show. A lot of good stuff, like the one that I always call back to is the one with what is it? Is it Carlton that gets mugged? Or is it Will? Will gets mugged, and with the gun, right? And then there's the gun one. That one could be a contender for best one too. A lot of emotion in that one too. Maybe I'll cover it in the future, but I think I have that one. I forget which one it is, but yeah. And even one of the earlier episodes where they're driving this rich man's car for him and they get pulled over and they try to convince them that they're doing a job for the guy, but the cops don't believe them because they're African American. And they get thrown in jail for stealing the car. That's another one that just sort of, it hits. Like I said, I stopped watching Black Lightning because there was too much racist stuff. This was one episode in the series that didn't really do that a lot compared to Black Lightning. Every week was just racial overtones. Not for me. But I think this was great. Great TV. What are your thoughts on this episode in the comments below? Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty. And to all the dads out there, happy Father's Day.